In the previous lesson, we created a customers table in our sales database to store details about customers. The table consisting of an ID column or field and columns for first name, last name and address. The table as yet has no data, so we need to look at how to insert data into it. As before, we'll do this first the easy way, using the Graphical User Interface GUI in PHP-MyAdmin. And in the process, we'll generate the SQL query, and we can take a look at this. To start, click on the name of the sales database to get inside the database. And then click on the Customers table to get into that so that we can work with it. You'll get the message that MySQL returned an empty results set. This means there are no records in the table. Click on Insert at the top. We get a grid, a bit like the one we saw in the previous lesson, but this time we see the field names to the left and we have to insert the values we want to store on the right. Leave the values for customer ID empty. These will be inserted automatically thanks to the fact that we set this as an auto-incrementing column. The first one will have the value 1, the second one 2, etc. I'm going to insert 5 sets of spoof names and addresses. In principle, you can use whatever values you like, but it's better if you insert the same 5 values that I type in so that when we select records a bit later, we'll know that we have some data which matches the searches we perform. You can use your own data, but then you may have to change the search queries later on so as to get some data which matches. So for this first value, put Michael as the first name, and then Possum as the last name, and then for the address, the last resort, Chipping Poplar, Essex, CM22, 8UH. And then down to the next record, first name Jiminy, last name Cricket, and the address, number 23 Peaches Road, Lowtown, Sussex, LT1 1RT. There are only enough input boxes for 2 records. To get more input boxes, click on Continue Insertion with 5 rows at the bottom. And scroll down, and now you'll have space for another 5 records. And for the third record, put Cornelius, Fudge, Ministry of Magic, Hogwarts. And for the next record, Harry Potter, Under the Stairs, 4 Privet Drive, Little Whinging, Surrey, HP 46, SHG. And for the last record, Eddie, Stibbard, number 76 Yapster Avenue, Lincolnshire, DG74, YP8. When you've done these 5 records, that's enough to see how it works. Click Go. You should get a message confirming that rows have been inserted and saying how many rows, and PHP-MyAdmin should also display the query that you just generated. Let's take a look at this query to see the syntax of an insert statement. I'll copy it, paste it into Komodo Edit, and save the file with the extension SQL so that we can see the syntax highlighting for SQL to make it clearer. I'll reformat it with line breaks so it's easier to see its structure. It starts out with insert into, and then the table name, customers, and a set of parentheses. And inside the parentheses a list of all the columns of the table. Customer ID, comma, first name, comma, last name, comma, address. Just notice these backticks round the table and column names. They're not quote marks, they're the very slanting character you can find the key for at the far top left of a UK or US keyboard. I'll talk about them in more detail in the next lesson. After that, we have the word values, and another set of parentheses for each record we've inserted. And inside each set of parentheses, a comma-separated list of values. Each value inside single quotes, and each set corresponding to one record in the table. The values are listed in the same order as the columns at the start of the query. So the first value in each set will be inserted into the first column, the second value into the second column, and so on. As the first column, customer ID, is auto-incrementing, it will automatically insert a value one bigger than the previous one, so there's no need to specify values in the insert statement. That's why they're all null. They could equally well be a set of quote marks with nothing inside. That would have the same effect. So that's a typical MySQL insert command. Insert into table name, parentheses. In the parentheses, a comma-separated list of all the columns in the table, values, then sets of parentheses for each record, each set of parentheses containing a comma-separated list of values, each value inside quote marks. Back in phpMyAdmin, click on the customer's table name. We can see the records we've just inserted. Now we've got some data in the table, but not much. In the next lesson, we'll take a short look at coding style and convention, and after that, in the following lesson, we'll add to the data and at the same time learn how to import data using a text file containing an insert command just like the one we generated in this lesson.